Ryoma. You know so much about the history of Hoshido.
Oh, I went off on a tangent there, didn't I? What were we talking about again?
You had a question for me.
Oh, yes. I've sensed that you're quite hesitant to take the throne. Why is that?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I just don't think I'd be very good at it.
Is that so? I can't imagine how you came to that conclusion.
Look at me. I don't have the personality of a queen, let alone the natural abilities. My brother, on the other hand, is a force of nature. He would make a great king.
I see. As a prince of Hoshido, I've had similar concerns. Like you, I believe that a ruler must be an effective leader.
Exactly. So you agree that my brother...
Not necessarily. I also believe that there is more than one way to lead. Some rulers naturally inspire their people. Others must convince those they lead.
Okay.
You and your brother would both make good, yet very different leaders. In an ideal world, you could share the crown, but that's impossible.
Actually, it wouldn't be the first time something like that happened in Atolis.
Interesting. Huh. That sounds like the perfect solution for you two. Such an arrangement would be out of the question in Hoshido or Nor.
It hasn't happened in Gristone either. It's definitely not... typical. But even if my brother and I did share the throne, we'd always be fighting.
Or perhaps you would bring out the best in each other. I've noticed that you're very cerebral, constantly analyzing every situation. And your brother, well, he's always ready for action, isn't he?
That's putting it lightly.
Don't you see? He would push you to act, and you would push him to think. In any case, I hope you consider it. But first, we must take back the kingdom.
Okay, I'll think about it. I'd be a fool to ignore your advice.
A shared throne. I never thought it was possible. Maybe I've been too bound by tradition to consider what's best for my kingdom. What could we achieve if we worked with our opposition rather than against them?
Sounds like you should be taking your own advice. You're going to be a wonderful king, Ryoma. I can already tell.
Thank you. I know you and your brother will lead your kingdom down a great path. People like us hold not only our future, but the future of many in our hands.
We can't let them down.
Hey, Ryoma. What are you up to?
I was just meditating. It is a type of Hoshidan mental training.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's fine. Would you like to join me?
What does it accomplish?
It will nurture your concentration and patience, and help you quiet your mind.
Well, it certainly sounds useful. And you can show me how?
Of course. First, sit. Now, cross your legs and rest your feet on your thighs.
Oh! Ow, ow, ow! It hurts! My ankles feel like they're going to snap.
Such a flair for drama. I would expect nothing less from a first-timer. Cross your legs like this instead. This is not physical training after all.
Is it... you mean like this?
Exactly. Very good, Corin. Now, just hold that position.
Got it!
Typically, you would meditate to lose yourself, but we've spoken so little. So let's talk. How are you doing? Is there anything troubling you?
I'm not a kid anymore, you know? I'm doing fine. Everyone is kind to me. And what's better is I'm able to spend time with family, like you.
I'm glad to hear that.
Speaking of, we haven't had much time to talk since coming here.
Then we'd best make use of it. Tell me about yourself. Whether it's about you, what happened in Nor, or how you feel about Hoshido.
Oh, there's so much I want to tell you, but I want to hear about you as well.
I'd be happy to tell you all you want. The rest of the family is eager to talk too.
I look forward to that, Ryoma. I hope we can all get together soon and just chat for hours.
I'm sure everyone would enjoy that. Corin, you are truly an irreplaceable part of our family. Let us be ever ready to support each other.
Thank you, Ryoma. I'll be sure to do my part.
Well, let's call it here for the meditation. You can relax now.
It's finally over. Oh, but my leg's asleep. Ow, 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 ow.
Now that is what meditation is all about. It will get easier with training.
Don't just laugh, help me up! You just said we should support each other!
Okay, here you go. But let's talk again sometime soon.
Maybe not exactly like this, but talking to you was pretty relaxing.
It allowed me to clear my head as well. I'll look forward to our next session.
Hey, Ryoma, what are you up to?
I was just meditating. It is a type of Hoshidan mental training.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's fine. Would you like to join me?
What does it accomplish?
It will nurture your concentration and patience, and help you quiet your mind.
Well, it certainly sounds useful. And you can show me how?
Of course. First, sit. Now, cross your legs and rest your feet on your thighs.
Oh, ow, ow, ow! It hurts. My ankles feel like they're gonna snap.
Such a flair for drama. I would expect nothing less from a first-timer. Cross your legs like this instead. This is not physical training after all.
You mean like this?
Exactly. Very good, Corin. Now, just hold that position.
Got it.
Typically, you would meditate to lose yourself, but we've spoken so little. So let's talk. How are you doing? Is there anything troubling you?
I'm not a kid anymore, you know. I'm doing fine. Everyone is kind to me. And what's better is I'm able to spend time with family like you.
I'm glad to hear that.
Speaking of, we haven't had much time to talk since coming here.
Then we'd best make use of it. Tell me about yourself. Whether it's about you, what happened in Nor, or how you feel about Hoshido.
There's so much I want to tell you, but I want to hear about you as well.
I'd be happy to tell you all you want. The rest of the family is eager to talk too.
I look forward to that, Ryoma. I hope we can all get together soon and just chat for hours.
I'm sure everyone would enjoy that. Corin, you are truly an irreplaceable part of our family. Let us be ever ready to support each other.
Thank you, Ryoma. I'll be sure to do my part.
Well, let's call it here for the meditation. You can relax now.
Whew! It's finally over? Oh, but my leg's asleep. Ow, 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 ow!
Now that is what meditation is all about. It will get easier with training.
Don't just laugh, help me up. You just said we should support each other.
Okay, here you go. But let's talk again sometime soon.
Maybe not exactly like this, but talking to you was pretty relaxing.
It allowed me to clear my head as well. I'll look forward to our next session. Pardon me, Prince Leo, but do you have a few moments to, hang out?
Hang out? This is so unlike you, Prince Ryoma.
Yes, well, Hinoka suggested that particular verbiage. But it was my idea to come see you and take a break from my duties.
I see. I don't mind, of course, but I can't help but notice you're unarmed. In a different time, I would act on this opportunity. What would you have done?
It's a fair question. I would be at a slight disadvantage with no blade.
A slight disadvantage? That's putting it mildly, I'd think.
Well, those days are over, are they not? Besides, if you were going to attack me, I assume I'd already be gravely wounded.
Anyhow, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. The other day, you covered me in battle and sustained an injury in the process. I had no idea you'd put yourself in danger for me. After all, it wasn't long ago that we were mortal enemies.
It was nothing, a mere scratch.
Perhaps, but I can't seem to let it go. I feel I owe you a debt now.
You're thinking about this the wrong way, Prince Leo. Consider what each of us means to this war. We must look out for each other.
Yes, that's true. So you were acting in the interest of the greater good?
Exactly. Fighting over past grievances will get us nowhere.
Indeed. And teaming up has been effective, I might add. So I suppose I don't have to worry about you attacking me out of the blue either.
You certainly do not. In fact, the reason I came to see you is I have begun to consider you a friend.
My, I have done well for myself, becoming friends with the great Ryoma. In all seriousness, I consider you a friend as well. But I must caution you, in times like this, it does not pay to become too friendly. You should be thinking of your own life in battle. You are that important. Although it hurts my ego to admit it, we cannot afford to lose you.
Well, thank you, Leo. I promise you that I will consider my own well-being. And if I might add, I believe I could learn a few things from you. The way you always stay composed in battle is admirable. And you have the ability to cut right to the core of things. I lack that trait.
Then by all means, let us learn from each other.
We will grow stronger together than we ever could individually.
Just don't be surprised if I surpass you before long. I jest, Ryoma.
Shall we call it a day here?
Good idea. Sparring with you wears me out twice as fast.
Still, I can see we are both benefiting from these matches. Always to a draw. But I suspect I'll best you soon.
I wouldn't count on it. I finally figured out Hoshiden's sword techniques. I was thrown off by her posture at first, but now I can handle it with ease.
With ease, huh? Well, your quirky Elysian style is old news to me, too.
Isn't this fun, Ryoma?
Yes, Crom. This is truly enjoyable. I never realized how thrilling it could be to face off against an unfamiliar fighter.
It's not something you experience every day, but we've both grown from it. Your blows are so precise. You find the slimmest openings in my guard. I need to be as methodical and calculating as you with my technique.
The strength of your style is its fluidity. There's never just one means of attack. Your style is clearly informed by experience more than training.
Hearing that from you does wonders for my confidence. And yes, but training and experience are not the only factors at play. It's my bonds with my friends that help me grow into the swordsman I am now.
To hear you say it, I realize that that may be true of me as well. My connections with my siblings inspire me to withstand the strictest of training. They allow me to rouse myself for harsh battles without so much as a flinch.
That is the power our links have. And I've made even more since coming here. Each and every friend I find will make me even stronger. And it goes without saying, Ryoma, our bond is irreplaceable.
I admit, I feel the same. It is truly an honor to have one of your caliber as a friend and sparring partner.
And as long as we share this bond, there's nothing to fear.
We do form a force without equal.
My friends will rest easy knowing I can protect them.
And no sane enemy will dare threaten my siblings.
Well, I think we've had enough rest with all this talking. Don't you agree?
You read my mind. Another match?
And you took the words right out of my mouth. Now, here I come!
Still waiting for your partner, Cordelia? Or are you on your own today?
It's just me, Lord Ryoma. I've never had much luck in finding sparring partners.
I would imagine people would line up to train with a genius like you.
Genius? I don't know about that. Actually, I think it might be that kind of reputation that keeps people away. Since I started as a knight, people have avoided me for fear I'd embarrass them. Apparently, I have a habit of winning, so now I mostly train alone.
I see.
It's better than not training at all. There are so many people depending on me. I have to be ready in case I'm needed. I refuse to let my allies down. It doesn't matter if people think I'm a genius if I can't protect those in need.
You really are a model warrior, Cordelia. Serious, smart, focused. I'm reminded of my retainers back at home, Saizo and Kagero. Ninjas.
What's a ninja?
A master of many skills. Kagero is an inspector, a protector, a strategist. And Saizo completes any task, no matter how unpleasant, with no complaint. Sometimes I worry that they don't feel their work is appreciated.
I wouldn't worry about that, Ryoma. Anyone would be honored to be working for you. I mean, I don't have a liege myself, but I'm sure you'd be a good one. I bet Saizo and Kagero love working for you.
Isn't that funny? For a second there, you sounded just like Saizo. He once told me there was no greater joy than serving a liege you respect. And that was all the reward he needed. I even think Kagero said something similar once.
They sound like happy retainers to me. Just like I said, you have nothing to worry about. They're glad to serve you.
Yes. I can only hope they know how proud I am to be their liege. Cordelia, how would you feel about training with me every now and again? Perhaps I could break you of your pesky habit of winning all the time.
Of course, Lord Ryoma. I'd be happy to spar with you.
Excellent. There's just something very familiar about you. I enjoy your company. You have the same spirit as my retainers.
It's really sweet how much you care about them. I wonder what else I'll learn about you in these training sessions.
I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. I don't have many secrets.
We'll see. In all seriousness, I'm happy I'll have the chance to get to know you better.
The feeling's mutual.
So heavy, but must stock, store.
Anna, what are you doing? You could hurt yourself carrying all that.
Thanks, but I got it. I've been managing on my own. Hey, Ryoma, what are you doing?
Carrying these items for you. I hope you don't mind.
I did, until I started to get feeling back in my arms.
You should have asked for my help from the very beginning.
You're right. I could have been done with this hours ago. You're such a gentleman, Ryoma. You know what? As a thank you, I'm gonna offer you a special deal. Any weapon in the shop is yours. On the house.
That's unnecessary, Anna. I was only acting as any friend would.
There you go again. Listen, I'm only doing what any salesperson would do. It doesn't have to be a weapon. Is there anything else you're in the market for?
Well, there is something, but no. It would be too difficult.
I'll be the one to decide that. Finding unusual items is kind of my specialty.
All right, then. What I'd really like is a little taste of Hoshido. In Hoshido, we have daikon radishes, rice, miso, and azuki beans.
Oh, yes. I've heard members of your family talk all about Hoshidan food.
I'm sure. Nothing would make my siblings happier than a treat from their homeland.
Wow, you really are a family man, aren't you, Ryoma? Well, leave everything to me. I actually have a contact who can help me out.
Excellent! It will be nice to put some Hoshidan food in my belly again.
Are you sure there's nothing else you want? Nothing just for you?
No. As long as my family is happy, I am happy. Besides, my favorite food is rare even in Hoshido. It would be too much.
I must say, it's admirable how you always put your family first. But don't you think they'd want you to do something for yourself, too? To put it another way, it's okay to be selfish every now and again.
Perhaps you have a point. Well, if it's no trouble, could you please acquire some yuzu pepper on my behalf?
You got it. Anything else?
Well, it would taste good with some chicken.
Sounds delicious. I'll get it in stock right away.
Thank you, Anna. When it does come in, I'll cook you a true Hoshidan dinner.
What? You can cook? This I've got to see.
You carry yourself with such grace for one so young, Prince Marth. Your swordsmanship is most impressive, and your allies truly listen to you.
You're too kind, Prince Ryoma. But fighting alongside you has only revealed my own inexperience. I have a long way to go before I can stack up against you. I lost my father and my sister. My whole kingdom was seized by enemy forces. So many innocents died because I was not strong enough. If I only had the power to protect my own people, I could have saved them.
So you lost your family too, Prince Marth. We have this in common. When I was young, my father was killed and Korin was taken. It was in that moment I vowed to protect my family from further harm. If I'd been stronger at the time, I could have prevented such loss. So you see, I understand your pain better than most. That vow is the foundation of my determination today.
I'm sorry to hear your family has suffered such hardships, Ryoma. I was so focused on my own past, I didn't consider yours may be similar.
Those experiences have made me the man I am today.
Thank you for talking to me about it. You are truly a model of strength, not only in body, but in spirit as well. I've got a long way to go,
It is no small honor to be considered a benchmark by one as great as you. I guess that means I have become stronger. Thank you, Prince Marth. I'm positive you will become a fine king.
Hearing that from you gives me hope.
Your achievements up until now have been more impressive than mine. To raise and lead an army at your age, and to always put your friends first, it is I who should look to you as a role model.
Am I really that inspiring?
Of course. I'll never stop drawing encouragement from you. And I think our similar pasts are a fine foundation for a friendship.
I think you're right.
We both lost our fathers at a young age. So we have both made our own way. Let us continue to bring out the best in each other and grow as comrades.
I agree. To meet in this strange world. It must be fate that our paths have crossed. Let's walk it together.
And we'll prepare each other for the responsibilities of the crown. Was that your stomach, Azura?
I don't know what you mean.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Honestly, I'm starting to get hungry too.
How like you to be so forthright you can't even pretend you didn't hear.
Well, I think an older brother can point out a little stomach growling, don't you? But lunchtime is still a while from now. Shall we venture to town for some food?
I'm fine, I assure you. Maybe it'd be best if you took along one of your siblings.
No. I'd like to go with you. You're my sibling too, after all.
It's nice of you to say that, but
I know I haven't always been the model elder brother. Let me make up for that.
well, you don't have to, but I suppose it'd be rude of me to turn you down now.
Excellent. Then let's be on our way. This is quite the lively place, don't you, Azura?
I've never seen food like this in all my life. What in the world is it?
You mean those samples out on display? Well, I've never seen anything like them either.
And look at that. That shop has all kinds of strange food, too.
Maybe these are foods that only exist in Atolis. Will you try some with me? This is...
Oh, it's delicious! The sweetness perfectly complements the silky smooth texture. We've got to bring some back with us. Everyone will want to try some.
Yes, let's. But first, we should try out a few more. To see what's best, of course. Well, there are all sorts of foods here, so we ought to sample it all before buying any.
We'll just have to do our best not to eat all our potential souvenirs. Ugh, I don't think I can eat another bite. What an amazing day this has been.
Agreed. It's been great to get away and spend some time together.
I appreciate you taking the time, Ryoma. Thank you.
Don't mention it. I just invited my sister out for some lunch. That's all. I know we're not related by blood, but I still think of you as family, even if I'm not always the best at showing it.
I know, Ryoma. I think of you as family, too. And I had a good time exploring with you. We could do it again sometime. If we hide away in our own little shells, we can miss what the world has to offer. That's what I realized today. It would have been a shame to miss all that food.
You're right. And I'd happily go out like this with you again, Azura.
Then it's decided. Thanks again, Ryoma.
Ho, Navarre. Do you have a moment? I witnessed you in battle. Your swordsmanship reminds me of that of my father, King Sumeragi.
I see. So your father was a swordsman as well. Tell me, whose skills are greater? Yours or your father's?
Well, everything I know, I learned from him. And there were things he didn't teach me. Strategy, special tactics, and more.
Then he is stronger than even the great Ryoma. I would like to challenge him.
If he were alive, I'm sure he would accept your challenge.
So he is no longer with us. A shame.
Yes. He fell victim to cowardly political treason and lost his life. But his legacy lives on in the great kingdom of Hoshido.
It is interesting that you compare me to him. I feel we're nothing alike. For instance, I am a skeptic. I would never succumb to a treasonous plot. And the idea of leaving a legacy behind after my death is ridiculous.
But you are alike in your tireless pursuit of strength. In that regard, I stand by my assessment that you are, in fact, quite similar. But I suppose your character is different, even if you possess similar drive.
That's exactly right. Your father sought power in order to strengthen himself as a leader. I, on the other hand, am merely a killer, a hired sword. I only push myself to greater heights in order to kill more efficiently.
Are you saying you have no aspirations? Nothing to strive for but strength?
That pretty much sums it up.
I see.
You must understand, you needn't rely completely on your sword. I, on the other hand, walk a shadowy path. The sword is my only light.
I think you're selling yourself short. You are capable of more, and I think you know it. You've carved a path with your sword. Now is the time to explore beyond it.
No. All I have is my sword. You have the power to impact the world in other ways. I lack this.
Your words say one thing, but your actions speak louder. I know some of your history. I know you have a sense of justice. No ordinary assassin would have done the things you've done. Trust me.
Out of respect, I will consider your words. Perhaps there is something there.
Thank you, Navar. That is all that I ask. Princess Minerva, allow me to thank you for covering Sakura during the last battle.
Of course. You really are always thinking of your siblings, aren't you, Ryoma?
A brother ought to look after his younger sister, correct? Do you have siblings?
An older brother and a younger sister. But my brother Michaelis is nothing like you. He killed our father and allowed an enemy kingdom to take our sister hostage.
How could... Might there have been some reason for him to do such a thing?
I believe they were simply decisions made in the interest of defending our kingdom. But I refuse to accept what he did. There must have been some other way. So I left his side and chose to stand against my own kingdom.
I see. I understand why you would feel so cold toward him. But I wonder whether he truly is an immoral person. It's not always easy for someone to play the role of both prince and older brother. If he had to put being a prince ahead of being a brother, then surely it tore at him.
Are you suggesting I should not blame him?
No, no. I cannot say you ought to simply accept his actions. I trust your judgment. But I know, as a brother and a prince, war is never simple.
I am happy to hear I have your trust.
And I hope you can trust me when I say you should confront your brother. If you intend to fight him, you must share your true feelings while you can.
You think I should explain myself to Michaelis?
I do. You are a princess who chose to go against the kingdom of her birth. But your motivation for doing so was to save your homeland and people, right?
Yes. Protecting Macedon is the reason I fight at all.
If you both have your kingdom at heart, your words may have some effect. And they would be words coming from his sister. If you speak, he may listen.
It's possible. Next time I see him, I will do as you say. I will tell him what I believe. At least then I will be free of regrets. Even if it ends in battle.
I'm glad you understand. Thank you for being open to my thoughts.
It is I who should be thanking you. I've been consumed by this for so long. It's been helpful to get the perspective of a great prince and model brother.
I'm not so great as all that. But now that you have declared me so, I must play the part as well as I can.
You are great. And I wouldn't mind speaking with you again, if you're willing.
Yes. And perhaps you could share with me the perspective of a younger sister,
I would be glad to. Let's plan on it. Sooner rather than later.
Ryoma! I know you're hiding it somewhere. Will you show me?
Ah, Owain. You're excitable as usual. What in the world are you talking about?
Your legendary weapon, of course! I must feast my eyes upon it!
You want to see my sword, is that it? Well, it is a family heirloom of sorts.
Yes! Oh, so this is the legendary weapon. That glowing blade. The gold inlay. It is bright enough to wash the darkness from the world! What do you call it?
It's called Ryjinto.
Ryjinto! Of course! It is a name worthy of the gods! Personally, I would have called it the Thunder God Sword, but it's okay. Anyway, tell me, what do you call the weapon's special power?
What special power do you speak of?
The electricity that crackles and whips through the air, man! Pop, pop. Super Lightning God Destruction Force is what I'd call it. Let me try it. Just once. You have to.
Owain, this sword has been passed down from one Hoshidan king to another. So no, you cannot borrow it.
You're right. You're so right. A sword like that can only be used by a chosen few. I should have known. And while I have been chosen, I am not yet sure for what.
Owain, please. There's no need to be concerned. You simply need to follow your own path. Perhaps one day you will even find a weapon that is destined only for you.
From your lips to the gods' ears.
Now, as far as the name of the special power, as you called it before...
You mean Super Lightning God Destruction Force?
Yes, that. Anyway, naming your own technique is not a bad idea. You could try shouting it out in battle and seeing if it has any effect. Or you could use it as a sort of beacon to signal your allies and raise morale.
Yes, yes! These are great ideas! Exactly what I was thinking!
To be honest, I just thought of them right now.
Wow! The two of us are like fire and kindling, igniting fevered inspiration! Of course, I must defer to your godlike swordsmanship.
Don't be so modest, Owain. You're quite a capable swordsman. All you need is perhaps another 10 to 15 years of diligent practice. And, of course, you must find a blessed weapon destined only for you. Simple.
Really? Is that it? Well, when you put it in those terms, it sounds easy.
Glad to hear it. Please, come to me for advice anytime. We walk the same path.
I'm honored. Likewise, if you ever need a magnificent name for anything, just ask.